Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much. And I'm particularly thankful to the organizer of this wonderful event to having provided me with the opportunity to be here and to share some of my experiences on the gender issues that I have been working in the Himalaya for the last several years. And this morning, I have the opportunity to share with you some of the women's innovative adaptation measures in land and water management that they have innovated and they are practicing in the Himalayan farming system, and how these measures are helping the women to come to the mainstream of the development in the region, and how these measures are helping the people of that area, the socio-economic system of that area, in reducing the gender gap. And the finding which I am sharing with you is a part of the international project, and this is funded by the Australian aid, and we have several partners from China, Australia, Nepal, and India. And the project is not exactly on the women and the gender issues, it is on the developing a climate change adaptation toolkit in the Hindu Kush Himalayan region. And as we all know, the Himalaya represent one of the most underdeveloped regions of the world, inhabited by some of the poorest people of the world, and the women's are the highly marginalized in that area because of the constraints of the subsistence farming system in that regions, and on which the dependencies up to the extent of the 75% in the absence of other viable means of livelihood. So there is an increasing trends of male out migration from the regions, and that's why the responsibility of the all resource development process falls on the women, and that is leading to the feminization of agricultural in that area. But unfortunately, the women do not have equal access to the agricultural resources, to their management system, in the decision-making power, and the ownership of resources in that area. But the findings of this research are indicating that the changes are taking place, and the women's contribution to the land and water management in that area are helping the women to join the mainstream of the development, and they are changing the mindset of the people, particularly the men, and they are now slowly recognizing the role of the women and their contribution in the sustainable resource development and in the climate change adaptation in that area. And because of the feminization of agriculture in that regions, women have developed critical knowledge of understanding the resources, making use of the natural resources, and making the adaptive management of the natural resources, particularly the land, water, and forest and biodiversity in that area. And I would like to share with you some of the findings of that research, which was carried out in 500 villages in the Uttarakhand state, the Himalayan state of India, which was created in the year 2000, and it covers some 5,000 households and 500 villages, and 15,000 households, 500 villages, and it covers the population of about 50,000. Out of that, 25% was women's, and out of that, approximately 15% were the women-added household. So how the women are changing the agricultural resource management practices in that area. So we surveyed some 25% of the household of that area, and the results indicated that women in 27% villages are replenishing the water resources and employing the traditional water conservation practices in that area. And women in the 25% villages developed indigenous rainwater harvesting system at their own, without any scientific intervention, without any assistance from their male counterpart. And 19% women changed the cropping patterns, and 21% women adjusted their crop rotation according to the changing climatic condition, particularly in the variability of the rainfall in that area. And 27% women have been successfully allocated their agriculture from the valleys to the upslope, and from some area from upslope to the valleys, according to the changing patterns of the climate in that area. And 55% women taking all decisions related with the management of land and water resources in that area. That is a very critical development which took place during the last 25 years, because all decisions related with the land and water management were earlier taken by the men, whether the men were there or outside that region. But the situation is now changing, so women are now taking their own decision related with the management of agricultural resources, land, water, forest, biodiversity in that area. And the important thing is that up to the extent of 35% women in the surveyed villages are now able to take all decision related to the products and their and their sale, their marketing, and they are also operating their bank account in the local market without taking any decision making from their health, from their husband and their male counterpart which are outside the region. So these are the remarkable changes which are taking place in that area, and the climate change has provided this opportunity to women come forward to the process of sustainable development in that area. And these innovative adaptation measures taken by the evolved and implemented by the women in that area have improved the resilience of the agriculture in that area, and it is helping to bring the women in the mainstream of the development. At the same time, these changes are helping the entire society in reducing the gender gap and bringing women in the forefront of development. And the key messages which I would like to share with you through this research, that these are the women who created opportunities for themselves. These are the women who created enabling conditions for themselves, for their development, and their role need to be recognized. That's what I indicated in the morning. It is up to the society, to the people, to the government system, to the political system, the international system, these good practices evolved by the women, their contribution to the climate change adaptation, their contribution to the local subsistence mountain farming need to be recognized. But I am very happy to share with you, this is being recognized by the men in that area. Okay, now the women are doing very good things. Why not we should support them? But this is not taking any revolution in that area. It is socially creating, slowly, gradually changing the society, the mindset of the people on that area. So it is my suggestion, key message, that women's role, first, we should recognize that women are doing wonderful work for the society, wonderful contribution for the society, and we need to promote them. And instead of improving women's access to the technology, it is good that they should have technology. There are wonderful examples shared by the presenter that how the mobile is changing the life of the women. At the same time, all constraints should be removed which are coming in the way of the education of the women. That is very critical. Then only the people, the entire society would be able to recognize the roles of the women, the critical, the important roles of the women. Thank you so much.